So people ask me, what's CloudScape about? What do you guys do over there at Risk Networks? And so let me get logged in here and show you a little bit of that. And so let's pull up our demo. Really for us, it's all about helping people understand what do they have, right? So I'm going on these big journeys. I'm changing my environment in some meaningful way. I'm doing cloud migration, data center consolidation, network segmentation, disaster recovery assessment. And to make decisions in these worlds, I need to understand, I need to get a handle on what's in my environment and how do I make decisions on top of that. I think lots of other discovery products will go out there and tell you, okay, here's what you have in terms of devices. But I think this key thing to answer is, okay, once I understand what I have, okay, 900 Windows servers, for instance, well, what am I going to do with that information? Well, now I need to understand, okay, well, what are those things supporting? What apps exist in my environment? And so this really represents the heart of what we're going after. So I'm coming in here to our dashboard, and I just wanted to show you that, look, here's the number of servers, here's the devices you have, but how do I put my decisions in a way that is meaningful to the business and the user? Because applications are what affect us these days. Applications are what affects the human beings that we have to work with, and so we need to present a view focused on that. And so here where we've come in and created our application grouping in an automated way to show in this environment, here's how every application talks to every other application. And so instead of being on the dance floor and seeing things from my perspective and looking and making those decisions, I can get up to the balcony and get a landscape view of my environment to understand that if I wanted to move, say, a single application, okay, how does that impact? If I untie this knot, what am I breaking? How do I understand that? But furthermore, maybe I want to come in and say, okay, well, that's great, but let me understand the servers that make those up because I'm going to have to break those apart in a certain way. And so we're creating things like, here's your Active Directory stack. Things like Exchange, SolarWinds will show communication between servers so you can get a sense of the connectivity happening in the environment, or bring in and see more granular models around how that application might impact just its scope. And so as you sit down with your app teams and try and think about application dependency, well, now you have a model. Now you have something a lot better than just a simple Wireshark capture or a spreadsheet that you've pulled from your environment to start making decisions on, a foundation on which to plan. And then to come and say, you know what, as I've reviewed these dependencies, maybe I want to look at cost to move to cloud or understand resource utilization in my environment. And so can come in and understand what cost is this going to be to run in different public clouds? What type of resource utilization? How well am I utilizing my environment? Let me understand what's low-hanging fruit. Where should I start? Right? We can see that in this environment that I'm loading up here, that I have several apps that might cost a whole lot to move into cloud, but I have a lot of this scope. It's pretty cheap, and so maybe that's where I want to start. And so by providing visibility into our performance analytics to say how I understand what's happening in my environment, how do I set up my wave groups, understand resource utilization, and where do I spend my time? Well, maybe I start here and can move even at a higher level and go up the stack some and say, okay, let me apply some rule sets to this. So logically, what in my environment is rehostable? What might I need to replatform? Let me understand who my top internal and top external apps are in my environment based on client connectivity. And so these are all ways we're trying to build a foundation on which partners and customers can stand as they attempt to marry up a quantitative understanding of the environment, which is what we're building, to their team's qualitative perspective, and putting these two things together to just build a better path forward and just get better answers.